Okay, I'll let you do it then.
I
M19, that's
honestly think that M19, they're one of the teams that's going to suffer the most from the meta change.
Okay.
I think going into these settings and how they are, they're very good players, they're very good fraggers, but what they were extremely good at was salvaging games. When they had a game where they got down to 1 or 2 players, they were extremely good at salvaging games, especially Latulins. Saw multiple times where he was able to salvage their games.
All right, well, let's get into our final game of Erangel here for day number 3. Thank you very much, guys. It's time now to go on to game number 13. The commotion is getting loud here in the arena as we head over to our commentary team for the plan and all the action.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The final game of the day of Erangel. 2 more Miramars to follow. It's a fairly westerly playing path, which will cause a lot of problems for the likes of FaZe Clan, TSM, the Knights. Well, I'm going to guess NIP are going to go South George this time and not head all the way over to the PUBG.
Are out with a plane.
Oh, they're going Zaki.
No messing whatsoever.
Is it new Zaki, remember?
Yeah, we've seen them do this before where it's an alternate loop, so straight out and straight down, no messing whatsoever. Raise your edge, go to the usual place up in the north side of George, where NIP will be lingering down on the southern edge.
Fast Rail's looking, he's like, what?
Oh boy.
Who's this?
We may have neighbours.
We've got someone.
We may have noisy neighbours. It's, yeah, so that could be actually quite dangerous from there on. So obviously Raise Your Edge not having the best of events so far, and now you've got FaZe Clan knocking at your door. That could be problematic, so keep an eye on that one. Red Diamond's just hitting the ground any second and be able to take up position around the hospital side. Obviously Windstrike Gaming moving throughout the fields of Gatka. The Jokers, they'll be kicking things off over by the ferry pier. Let's take a look at the more central area. Obviously kicking it and still chilling over on Sosnovka Island. So quite a lot of manoeuvring still to do. Everybody banking that it is going to go north, obviously with how the water circles will be working, and we get to phase 4 and everything else moving away from water. Everyone's still kind of banking on heading up north. The Bears have moved just more to the left, excuse me, more towards the right-hand side, taking just on the off angle of Severny and shooting range and hoping it kind of comes their way. One player turns up from M19. Unfortunately, 6 Mo's waiting with welcoming opening arms.
I tell you what, that's a team that has actually woken up today. Digital Athletics. They've had some good performances so far today. M19 themselves also stepping up down that bottom of the table. And that's, you know, while we're talking about these teams in the middle of the pack, if the bottom of the table teams start to step it up, the middle of the pack has to get worried because suddenly they start shuffling down a little bit, you know, if they're not picking up the kills. Iro looking to try and get himself 1. Obviously picked up the winner today. 6Mo confirms it. Enoch goes down and M19 lose 2. And that's 2 points to DA already.
Which we have actually seen from Digital Athletics during qualification and also during GLL, where we have to go north. FaZe and Liquor are about to crash into one another, and we've got Vitality also lingering this, and maybe even NIP, I can see, and G2 in the background. Whether they get involved in this, I do not know, but we have so many powerhouses all fighting for this one tiny bit of territory.
They're all teams that are looking hungry for points right now. A lot of invites up the top here. Fuzzface gets the knock onto Monkey, but you can see the tracers whizzing past his face. Immediately Uber tries to get that SKS roaring onto Jazza. Jazza himself has been absolutely phenomenal in these opening 3 days, but then you see the Samty tap from the side, catching on the side of him. The big Finn getting involved as Uber tries to dodge, duck, and weave his way up the hill and get behind a tree. And now G2 are getting involved.
Yeah, just about to say, you shoot one team, you have to be aware of another. I mean, look at Shadow. You've got G2 to one side. Jeems comes in with a 249 onto Aitzy. Spots him, confirms him. Job done. FaZe, they can't go any further. They'll be held back in the blue, unfortunately. Mexi's still up. He's got another team in the form of Fuzzface as well. Maybe Vitality confirm this. But once Vitality do this, they have to take another fight, which will be both G2 and Liquid as well. At the moment, this could be Liquid are just going to pick up so many points here. There's 3 teams for them to pretty much go on to.
I think FaZe have lost 2. Yeah, they have so far. By the way, Digital Athletics, while that was happening, you could see them in the pit there. They tried to blast it through, but Windstrike absolutely ripped them apart. Raise Your Edge, of course, do start in North Georgia, but haven't had to move yet. They're just still holding that line. But back in the Northern Hills, it is disastrous for FaZe Clan. G2 getting involved. Brexico down in the blue. Jazza's on absolutely nothing. There's Tracer fire onto Mexi. Mexi, where's he going? He's going straight through Vitality. That is not going to work, and I think FaZe Clan are going to go down in a hail of bullets here. They're done. 16th place for FaZe.
That's the second 16th placement they've got to there. That's absolutely devastating for FaZe Clan. Oh, they're going to have to pick themselves up. Off the back of a win yesterday, they started getting going, but things haven't been going too well today. Jeems still letting rip with that 249 aiming downhill. G2 also, once they get past that team, they can fall back onto them. So Jazza will be confirmed.
TSM just blasted it over the west bridge of Georgipol, straight in.
Oh, no,
they
NIP
did get a
coming
knock
as well,
instantly. They came straight in behind the Knights, blasted straight in towards there, so they've took a knock instantly. Now Windstrike on the move as well. They're coming around the edge and back up in the north. Vitality and Team Liquid continue to fight as Nasus and Monkey get down by two different teams. They're wedged between G2 and Team Liquid.
We got fights all the way across the map on different angles. Jeems still sitting pretty with his 249 and just...
They're done.
I mean, he hasn't got that many kills, but he's done so much damage and been such an anchor point. Everyone's just been facing towards him. Now it comes down to NIP stabbing G2 in the back. Liquid could probably reposition off this and actually use all this time to their advantage and go and get a better power position, because the circle, all right, while they're still inside it and they're kind of sitting pretty on the northern edge of the map, they do have to come inland.
It's been a strong start from Vitality, but going down in 15th place, I mean, this is incredible, right? This is 3 invited teams out already. It has been a brutal northern swing for this circle. FaZe Clan 16th, Vitality 15th, and the Knights down in 14th. Well, now G2 looking like they may be next one to follow, as Kane, the last man standing, just lying prone and hoping. While this has been happening, ENCE, they're sitting pretty. Look at this, out in the fields. They've got themselves a little vehicle set up with the UAZs. They've got the ditch. It's looking good for that circle movement. Also, looking towards the hill, we shouldn't forget Na'Vi's position. They went for that ditch very early on. They avoided a lot of the damage that was coming in. And right now, that is a very strong position with the, 5, 6 teams on the edge of North Georgipol right now?
Slow and steady wins the race. A couple of these teams that really aren't showing their hand right now. ENCE being one of them up in the field. The Joker.
It's a 2-2 as well, because they're just on the west side. If they can clear the Jokers out here...
They can hold so many teams. They're holding back TSM. Just by being there, their presence holds back the Jokers, holds back TSM.
Oh, and Wookie gets him. D-Mash down. Now, okay, Tap's going to have to get around there. He's going to have to smoke it out. ENCE almost certainly going to try and want to follow on that. It's a tricky push across the road, though. They do have that 2-2, so they're fine. Team Liquid, though, you know, we talked about them. We gave them a bit of an unfair criticism or fair criticism, whichever way to call it. They now hold, because of that fight they had with FaZe, because of that fight they had with Vitality, they now hold the entire northern edge of the circle.
I think it's always fair to discuss, because we know truly how much ability that roster has and what it can do. Once it warms up and once it gets into a position where it can be, it's going to be a challenger for the top 4 spots at the end of the day. These boys want to be going to London. It's a pro league, and that's what you're playing for. After this, there's a major. G2, another big name going down and looking for some 13th in game 13. That's not the G2 that we've been seeing for the last 2 days, Lee.
This is not the push I expected. Truthfully, who is now solo because the other members have gone north, has almost taken down the Jokers on his own. Will get caught in the back by Kemba, though, so Kemba managing to finish him off. Kemba and Senya still there, but the other 3 members of ENCE are very much safe up in the hills. You can see them there in that ditch. They have themselves a beautiful position. So they're holding the western side of the circle. The north is Team Liquid, and everybody else has got to fight for the scraps down the south.
Dream for you. Just to update on Crow Crowd, they're smack bang centre of this circle. The Lone Ranger in the lone compound. Up at the north, you've got Team Liquid, 4 players up. NIP, still 4 players up. Another scalpel fall. Digital Athletics, 12th position for them. Pin picks him up, another 1 point for him.
So let's talk about this. What is going to play out here on your screens? Who is going to blink first? TSM, you just saw Gustav trying to make a move. Red Diamonds have to get out of these apartments. Raise Your Edge are trying to get to the hills first, but that's not always the best position because you're going to get shot in the back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue because of the fact that there's apartment blocks there. If you want to try and take that hill and get ahead of the game, you have to be aware that people will be able to have an eye line on you. Gustav is the first to try and make something happen. A doozy sees him and it instantly flushes him out. Wookie Bookie, second person to fall. TSM, 11th position for them. That now allows the Red Diamonds maybe to pressure that hillside, get inside the circle. Na'Vi, they wander in, they take central position, remove Crow Crowd from that building, and now they dominate the center of the map.
Red Diamond holding that hillside, lighting up the Jokers trying to get in position, but they've managed to get out of that defilade position. And as you mentioned, Na'Vi, they're in a strong spot right now, but there is only 2 standing for them.
How many times would you push a compound like that in the center?
With just 2.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a ballsy player that's played off. Just, I mean, they're lucky that 4 members of Crow Crowd are sat in there, and thankfully there's only 1, but hey, a push like that almost can sometimes guarantee you death. It's paid off, and now they're on the center.
NIP are going looking for kills here. Look at this. It's working out for them. They've found M19, Gaxi, Miraku. This is the NIP we're used to seeing. This is the aggression plays. 4 of them alive, push for the fight. Windstrike trying to push into the circle. NIP saying, no, we occupy the territory, and they're pushing straight down. We're following Miraku here as the front man at the moment. Red Diamond's doing a similar job onto Raise Your Edge. This is 2 4-man battles, 4-man teams clashing on the hills.
Fast Rail does have an off angle on them, though, so he might be able to make something happen. That grenades are coming down. It might be a light shot any second. They're trying to get them uphill, but there's such a big drop off.
Well, that's a great nade!
Oh! It bounced off the side! It literally just angles onto them. 90 degrees, and a second one, he's trying to get more. But the damage has already been done. What a bloody grenade!
Fast Rail with the absolute pocket nade coming out there. We saw some fantastic stuff from Tixu in the last game. Or Tixu, I've got to say, to get it correct there. Fast Rail has to duck down, though. Down to 6 hit points, doesn't matter. Wanted comes in, and the red diamonds go down. And that gives Raise Your Edge the southern edge of the circle. NIP and Windstrike, meanwhile, sitting on top of one another. It comes over the brow of the hill. Gaxi gets down. MBS on nothing, but the nade does come over, and Jorski will get knocked.
Team E backs up from this one. He's only got 1 partner in crime. Try and take down the remaining members of NIP, but they're down to 2 as well. Need to find Miraku's POV. There it is, straight down the barrel. Turns around on a pinhead. And now we're into the 1 versus 1, but the bullets are coming in thick and fast. Cup of Magic now. Raise Your Edge starting to heat up and really show themselves here in game 13.
They need to have a big game here, and this could be the one for them. If they can clear out this southern side. And, you know, Enso got a really tricky spot because they're out in the fields. Team Liquid, by the way, is sitting very, very strong right now with the 4 alive in that northern side of the circle. They are completely unhindered.
Going for it, Lee. They want to finish off NIP, take their position, and then they might be able to work their way back into the circle because there is a compound for them, which might be a good angle that they can get to.
Enso on the move, but it's Raise Your Edge. We should be seeing they're going to get around here. The nades come through. Oh, the backs of NIP. They've got them both up. America and Vard with absolutely nothing left. But you've got to be careful. You can't push into this one blindly, Raise Your Edge. They must realize they're back. They're on their feet. And now it's going to be a tricky push.
Fast Rail's doing exactly what he did before, and he's taking the off angle. He goes downhill. If he can get any sign of life here for NIP, all the ninjas have hit the deck, hit the dirt, but they're back to full health. Just a little bit of a slow kind of run to this hill might not pay off in the way that they wanted. I mean,
yeah, they're a little too slow. A little too slow to get in there.
They'll be damaged, but the stims are already on late.
They have to spread. Wanted's found out and flushed out. Gaxi gets caught out by Cup of Magic, though, as he tries to push up. Vard gets around the side. Snark with a beautiful angle. He should be able to catch them both down. Vard goes down, and Snark, it almost works out for him. Fast Rail gets in and tries to confirm it. 2 down for Raise Your Edge. They can get Snark back on his feet. MBS, meanwhile, out. Look at Vard. He's got absolutely nothing left. Everybody wants to revive, but he's like, I can't heal myself.
His teammate crawls in front of him, gives him cover, gives him information. Once he gets him back up, he needs to go after Cup of Magic.
That nade could go in. Did he cook it? No, he didn't. He tossed it too much.
They're all back up again. Miracle does bleed out, and again, the more knocks you get, the faster you will bleed.
They've allowed NIP with just 1 surviving to get up. But look at this. Team Liquid have pushed all the way around. Samty and Jeems looking to get involved in this big fight. If they can flush out and maybe collect as many points as they can, this could be a massive round for Team Liquid.
Oh, my word. Jeems has got that 249. If he sees all 3 members of NIP in there, he might just be able to obliterate them, which he is. He's going straight onto him.
Jepti gets Senua as well in the field, so Jokers get picked off. Ibi gets him. Jepti gets involved. He gets the knock in the back, and this has just gone entirely wrong for Raise Your Edge. They collect themselves the kills. 9 kills. Massive points for them. NIP go down in 5th place, but it's Team Liquid that are on the hunt.
Jeems is playing cleanup crew. Unfortunately for Raise Your Edge, I mean, the good thing and the bad thing. The good thing is they're still alive and still kicking. The bad thing is they could have had a lot more kills than they had there if they'd have pushed onto NIP when it mattered most. Instead, they've got themselves back up, but they're going to be damaged. They're not out of this one yet, but when they come around the corner, they face Jeems, those level 3s and that big boy machine gun, they're going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah, Jeems up close. I don't think they realise that he's got it. Smoke comes in, tosses that nade, tosses the second, tries to peek a little too much. Fast Rail looking for the head, but Snark downed again, and he's bleeding so fast. Look at that, Snark. There's absolutely no chance. They've been down so many times, and going back up, it's just causing them problems. Jeems gets himself another. As he confirms that kill, the smoke will help him back away. While this is happening, Na'Vi are just still sitting in their house looking for position placement. That's all they want right now. And Ents are trying to take advantage. They've swept all the way around the northern edge of the circle. Team Liquid are kind of let them go here. Jeems does get down. Team Liquid have got to be careful, they don't get stabbed in the back.
Samti's sitting on the back foot, though, which will stop any advancement from downhill. There's only one way they can really hit them, and that's right in front of them. Smack bang square, Cup of Magic, last man standing here. Can you get double-digit figures in kills? Yeah, I suppose while all this is going on, Ents are just going to be like scalping the top and wondering where these people...
They're still pushing. They're sweeping around. They're sweeping around. Okay, they've dealt with Raise Your Edge. Now they've got to turn fast, and Jempty will spot them right now. See them coming. There we go. Just in time, they confirm the kills on Raise Your Edge to turn around and realize they're getting backstabbed.
That's a huge amount of damage from Rustamar there. Initial knock comes through, then he puts enough damage onto the second person to force them back, gives them a bit of breathing room from now. Multiple grenades will come flying.
Jempty's sneaking.
Oh, this is aggressive. This is slow, methodical.
The crouch walk as he creeps on around. Jeems finished off. Did he just see the jumps there? I don't know. He's right on the blue. He saw him.
They must have
he
seen
saw
some
him. Absolutely saw him. Rustamar tries to get out, belts down, hits the dirt, and tries to spray the exact spot. Jempty will back away from this one. Team Liquid still with 3 alive with Jeems down.
Jempty still holding point, allows the rest of his teammates to gather their thoughts and gather their resources, only does much help as possible. Samti, if you can hit the world now, my son, your teammates need it. One headshot will kind of open a door and do the job, but Ibby and Jempty, they do pull back, and I like that. Use the cover. Ibby's inside the circle. Samti will keep an eye on this compound behind them because he knows that Na'Vi might not know they're in there, but it certainly is hyper aware that a team would be lingering at this point. Well, Ents, the circle hasn't gone their way, but again, you still got this whole hillside to play with, so they'll be able to comfortably find a decent position and get a foothold.
Sadovnik's moving out. He's looking to try and center up as much as he can, so they finally come out of the compound, Sadovnik and Recurrent, looking for something. The Harry Potter is just outside the zone there. Rustamar basically the man that's teetering on the edge of the next circle, but Ents are realizing that hill battle probably not going to go in their favor, so they're kind of looking for a better angle, and Rustamar may well have found it on Samti there as he tries to peek with the Kar98.
Probably have a quiet moment for now, just while players adjust and get the information. Sadovnik still just out in the open on his own. Na'Vi have gone for a 1-1 split. Obviously both of them don't want to go down back-to-back and try and play for position. Squeaky keeping an eye on this Harry Potter, see if a wild wizard wants to come wandering out of the blue. There's going to be no one in there at this point, thankfully for them. Sadovnik, though, still playing proactive. I like this.
Yeah,
it's a decent place as well, to be honest.
Yeah, nobody's going to expect him in the ditch, right? Because he's just gone right in the ditch. These are fighting each other on the brow of the hill, and he's got himself tucked in there. Could collect themselves a second place here, Na'Vi, or maybe even go one stronger.
More importantly, Recurrent can give him the information of where players will be pushing on him, so if they decide to come down for the ditch... I mean, Recurrent can give him that info, so if they run towards him...
Didn't work out, though. Ooh. Close. 11 kills and counting for Team Liquid. They've been involved in so many big fights.
That tagged Rustamar, that's done some damage. Smokes, be prepared to see a hell of a lot of them. Especially from CIS, if they want to get into the #1 position, they have to be very aware. Jempty opens up onto Rustamar. The damage was done. We saw the 40 points come through across the map.
That's a pivotal angle that Jempty's got now. He sees Recurrent down low, gets a little shot down on him. Squeaky going for it as well with the Scar. And, well, Mikaz, everybody opening up on him. But now we see Ibiza. Look at the sweep, look at the move. Samti and Jempty, the Finnish brothers, are moving on the Finns. Ents are completely caught, so focused, lays it in on what Na'Vi are doing. They're completely unaware of the fact they've completely lost his swing. Samti makes the move, gets around the side. Ents will be eliminated in 3rd place. And now it's Na'Vi. Recurrent spotted down low. Team Liquid looking to finish the game. Sadovnik waiting for that circle, sitting in the smoke, but I don't think there's anything he can do.
Smokes are down. I mean, if he can just pull one more point out of the bag for them, a kill and a flush would be worth it, but it doesn't come through. Team Liquid, after the full conversation we had at the start of the game saying, what can these boys do? They've just shown it. 15 kills lead and a big, very much needed win.
It may have taken them 13 games to get there, but they've got there in the end. And it's a big 25-point haul for Team Liquid. We know they can perform. We expect them to perform. So now we're starting to see all of the big teams, the invited teams, picking themselves up wins. I think the only ones that haven't is NIP, and well, they came very close in game one, didn't they, with just that second place. But we're starting to see all of the big boys. Some of these teams have not been involved for many months in competitive games. So yes, it's taken him a couple of times. Did Ibi just put that jump on the wrong way around?
He did. I think he was just trying to show his name off.
No, that's it.
Make sure you knew exactly who he was. But to be honest with you, you can't miss him. Can we just appreciate as well, Lee, how Navi, the team that was the furthest away from this circle humanly possible, made it all the way to the center of the final circles, not once,
they ditched
but
it
twice.
They ditched it. I've got to be fair. They did kind of send it. They kind of ran into a couple of teams, but I want to talk about the team that was just on your screen there, Raise Your Edge, talking. They've just had a good game. They've had a high kill game. I think it was a 9 or 10.